Oh, it's that time again. What's going on, everybody? Well, it is a new month, so it is that time once again. Time to talk about everything that was last month. All of the Blu-ray releases that I purchased over the past 30 days or so. Welcome to Off the Shelves yet again. Pretty decent sized episode this time. I'm glad I'm actually getting it out on the first. I'm usually kind of lagging about a week or so with this one, but we've got some good titles to talk about as always. Something that I wanted to point out at the beginning of this video for a change, because I always talk about it at the end, and I don't know how many people actually stay from the outro that I pretty much do the same in every video for the most part. But if you guys are a fan of this t-shirt right here, or other t-shirts like this, please check down in the video description below for my Spreadshirt store. I've got designs like this. There's a couple of Child's Play inspired designs. There's me with a bunch of horror icons. There's a lot of really cool designs down there designed by the great Woody Bowen. And I figured I would tell you guys at the beginning of the video to see if maybe some of you that didn't realize I had a Spreadshirt store because you don't watch the end of the video would now be enlightened. If you like this shirt, you like shirts like this, you want to represent the channel, you want to help the channel out, that's a good way to do it. Check the video description below for that Spreadshirt store. Now, with all that out of the way, let's talk some Blu-rays. So, I kind of put it back into an order. I've been doing randoms for like the past couple of months, but I like doing it in order. So I did that this time. I've got all my 4Ks and my new releases first. Then I have basically 4K double dips, and then a bunch of older movies that I bought just on regular Blu-ray. So starting off is one of the few movies in this stack, well, maybe about 4 or 5 movies that I have not got a chance to watch yet. But I bought this on good faith that a lot of people I know said that this one was actually really good compared to the rest, because I really don't like the rest, save for the first one, and that is Bumblebee. I didn't have any interest in seeing this in the theaters. It was also a kind of a busy month for me when it came out, so it's supposed to be like an 80s throwback. I like Haley Steinfeld. I've gotten a lot of really good feedback from this movie saying that it's by far the best, or at least the best since the first one. And the director is the guy who is the showrunner, I believe, on Daredevil. So I had a lot of interest in this. I figured I'd check it out, maybe watch it with my kids. Just haven't had a chance to see it yet. So if you've seen this, if you're like me, and I really liked the first Transformers when it came out, I couldn't stand the second one, and I have yet to watch another one since every single time they come out, the reviews are even worse than the last one. So will I like this one? Let me know. Almost my pick of the month, but I have one that's a little bit better, and that is Glass. And I did get the Best Buy exclusive that has all the different like little face cards and everything. They got the Overseer, they have the Horde. So Glass, as everybody knows for the most part, is the concluding chapter of the, what do they say, East Trail 177 trilogy, whatever M. Night Shyamalan is calling it, from Unbreakable, Split, and now you have Glass. Now this was a movie that stirred a lot of controversy when it first came out because a lot of people did not care for the way this movie resolves itself. I'm not going to spoil it. I have a full spoiler-free review and a full spoiler discussion of this film on my channel if you want to check that out. But I absolutely loved where this movie went. Was it bittersweet? Was it unexpected? Was it shocking in certain spots? Absolutely. But to me, tonally and story-wise, it was the perfect conclusion and totally consistent with this trilogy so far. Unbreakable is one of my favorite films of all time. I was a big fan of Glass and actually like it more upon rewatch. So this was a huge recommendation for me, and it's still a recommendation for me, and the 4K looks great. So go out and buy this. This is another one that I did not get a chance to see in the theaters. Heard really good things, especially from my buddy CP from Willis Greedia, and I picked it up, but haven't had a chance to watch it yet. That's The Mule. So Clint Eastwood's still going strong. It's a really interesting concept for me, seeing, I think he's like a drug runner or something along those lines. So it is a movie that I will watch eventually, but I just haven't had a chance to yet. Unfortunately, life gets in the way. Now my pick of the month. Currently battling head-to-head with Avengers Endgame for my favorite film of the year, and 2 very different movies too. Dragged Across Concrete. This is by S. Craig Zahler. This is the guy who directed Brawl in Cell Block 99, one of my favorite films of 2 years ago, as well as Bone Tomahawk, which I need to rewatch because I liked it, but I wasn't as high on it as everybody else. But now that I'm a big fan of his second and third films, unless he did something before that, but I want to give it a rewatch. But Dragged Across Concrete was a movie that I've been anticipating for almost 2 years, and it totally delivered. It's a slow burn. It's a very long movie, so it's not for everybody. Not everybody's going to walk away thinking this is the best film of the year, but previous to watching Avengers Endgame, it was like immediately my favorite. You got Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn playing some rough around the edges cops. I won't really call them dirty. They certainly have a little bit of excessive force, but they get suspended for excessive force, and because of financial reasons, they have to find a more criminal way to get money, and that is all I'm going to tell you. There's a lot of interesting characters, a lot of different plots that come together in the third act. It's very violent in certain spots. If you've seen Brawl in Cell Block 99, it's not quite the same film, but you know elements what to expect from this director, so absolutely go out and buy this. And I also have a full review for that on my channel if you want to check that out as well. Now you have two awesome additions to my collection, and that is the 4K Steelbooks, Best Buy exclusives as of right now, of Captain America the Winter Soldier, my #1 comic book film of all time as of right now, and Civil War. So I have rewatched both of these after being on a Marvel high after seeing Endgame. They both look fantastic on 4K. They're both fantastic films. Like I said, Winter Soldier is my favorite comic book film of all time. Like, it is. Like, this is damn near a flawless movie, if not a flawless movie to me. I think it's one of the greatest action films of all time. Just so much about it I love so much. And Civil War gets damn close to this. But they're both awesome films. You can check them out at Best Buy. The Steelbooks are badass. They have the regular 4K Blu-rays too, but it's worth the extra $5 or so for these great Steelbooks. So definitely go out and buy both of these. Now, you have another 4K double dip, because I actually have the collection of these, but this is a film that I'll always love and will always be close to my heart, and that is The Karate Kid. The 4K upgrade looks really good. It's not like, it's not this huge, masterful, like, holy shit, this film just reinvented itself. It's one of those 4Ks where it's like, okay, it's worth paying for the double dip if it's not too crazy expensive, which this wasn't. It was like 14 bucks. It pays for itself in my opinion. So I absolutely love The Karate Kid. It's an absolute classic from the 80s. The movie itself is a go out and buy it, absolutely. And something else, don't hold me to this, but I have been very late to the party with Cobra Kai. And I just recently watched the first season this past like 2 or 3 days, and I'm starting on season 2 now, which has only been out for a week or so. I might do reviews for both of those seasons because I am really enjoying that show, much more than I thought I would. It's way better than it has any right to be. But anyway, go out and buy this. Another 4K double dip that was a must buy is Alien, the 40th anniversary. And I bought the regular Blu-ray. I didn't like the Steelbook as much. Sometimes Best Buy Steelbooks, the Blu-ray cover is better than the Steelbook. So, I don't know, this is one of those times. But Alien, what more can you say about it? It's a landmark horror sci-fi film. It's one of Ridley Scott's best films. It started one of the best franchises of all time. It's often a heavy debate which one is better, Alien or Aliens. I prefer Aliens, but Alien is still a masterpiece in my mind. And I can't wait to watch it on 4K to see how great it looks. Because it's always been, like most Ridley Scott films, just beautifully shot. So go out and buy this, absolutely. Again, this was like 14 bucks, 15 bucks too, just like Karate Kid. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Here's one that I don't think I had this on my last Blu-ray haul. If I did, then it's just another opportunity for me to talk about it. But my buddy Lee has been a very high recommending of Starry Eyes, and I actually bought the Blu-ray off of his recommendation. And I'll say this, the movie is absolutely worth watching. It's a wild ride, it's a very trippy movie, goes in a lot of weird, crazy places. I don't know if I'm quite as high on it as he is. Maybe upon rewatch, there's a few spots towards the end where I wasn't as satisfied with the conclusion as I would have liked to have been, but it's a pretty relentless film. And what I'll say, the biggest thing that I took away from this is how in the hell are the directors of this film the ones that churned out that Pet Sematary remake? Which again, is not the worst thing in the world, it was decent, but this movie goes so far and so violent and so like outside of the box, even like cinematography and camera work and visual wise, it's just so creative and unique. And that Pet Sematary remake just had none of that in it. So that was the biggest thing that surprised me when I watched this. I was like, how did somebody that can make a film like this then follow it up with that? Who knows? This is a really high enthusiastic stream it. Doesn't quite get to go out and buy it, at least not upon first watch, maybe upon rewatch, but just, it's a movie that I don't think is for everyone, so that's the safe bet. It's just to check it out online, stream it where you can, see if it's one of those films where it really blows you away, is one of these little hidden gems in horror, or maybe it's a little bit too weird, a little bit too out there for you, but definitely check this one out. Now you've got some older films that, I'll be honest, sometimes I just get bored and I look on Amazon and I see movies that are cheap. I'm like, well, I don't have that. Add to cart, add to cart. So this is kind of a 3 or 4 movies that I did that with. Starting off with Clint Eastwood again, Escape from Alcatraz. I have never seen this entire film. I remember seeing the last half of it like numerous times on HBO, like back in the mid-2000s, early 2000s, and I remember really being intrigued by it. Alcatraz is a really interesting concept, and Clint Eastwood's just got a lot of great movies, so this is always one that I've heard pretty good things about, so I just bought it on a whim. It was like $6. So I don't have a rating for it, but I bought it anyway. Boogie Nights. This is one, again, I've never seen the entire film start to finish, but I've seen pieces of it over and over and over again, and the pieces that I did see of it really intrigued me. It seemed like one of those like kind of not Tarantino movies, but like a movie where a lot of different characters and a lot of different plot lines are kind of going on all at once. And I just was intrigued to watch the full thing. So again, no rating for it. This is one that might get me shot. I've never seen Almost Famous, so I'm rectifying that. I bought it. I'm trying to do the good thing, people. Don't cuss me out in the comment section. Oh, one of my favorite comedies of all time finally hit Blu-ray, and that is Multiplicity, one of Michael Keaton's best and funniest films. Basically, if you've never seen this, he's a very overworked, stressed out, regular Joe, and he clones himself with the help of this doctor who has this little secret project so that his clone can take a lot of the load away with everyday life, like going to work or, you know, taking the kids to baseball practice or whatever he needs them to do. And hilarity ensues. So this is one of my favorite comedies, definitely one of my favorite, if not my favorite Michael Keaton film. Yes, even above the Batman films. Shoot me. But I absolutely love this. It's hilarious. It still holds up, and highly recommend it. It's not even that expensive, so go out and buy it. This is one that, my Blu-rays just fell. Fuck it, keep going. This is one that I saw probably about half of, fell asleep because I was very tired that day, and saw the ending of, that I never got a chance to watch the full thing and go back and finish it because it was taken off of Netflix, but it got a lot of praise the year it came out, and that is Sing Street. So I bought it so that I can rectify that, because it was cheaper to buy this than it was to buy the digital copy of it. So, and I'm a physical media whore. You guys know this. I mean, I do this video every month. This should be no surprise to you. And finally, I have to thank everybody who watched my top 5 Stephen King horror films, because a lot of you, probably about 7 or 8 of you that watched that, saw the part where I was talking about The Dead Zone and was bitching about how it wasn't on Blu-ray yet, and you said, wait, it is on Blu-ray yet. You just have to look on eBay. It's not a big wide release, but you can find it. Well, I found it. So thank you all so much for letting me know. Now this is a piece of my collection, and I can stop bitching about not having it. The Dead Zone, one of the best and most underrated Stephen King adaptations, directed by David Cronenberg. You got Christopher Walken in one of his best roles. Basically tells the story of a guy who gets in a car wreck, goes into a coma for like 5 or 6 years, wakes up and has a clairvoyant ability to touch someone and see something in their future. So he aids the police in trying to find a serial killer. He is tutoring this kid who sees, you know, he sees doom in his future and tries to save it, and then eventually gets foiled into this plot regarding Martin Sheen as this senator coming up who has a very grim future involving the future of the U.S. and the world as we know it. So very cool, underrated film, and I recommend all of you see it. I mean, I made my top 5 Stephen King adaptations, so if that's not enough selling it, I don't know how else to sell it. But go out and buy the shit out of this on eBay. So thank you all for letting me know. That's it, guys. That is this month, the episode of Off the Shelves. A lot of great titles this month. Not really any stinkers, at least hopefully the ones that I haven't seen yet aren't stinkers, but a lot of really good stuff. So check out all of this if you're a fan of any of these films. Hopefully I have reviews of most of them. I told you which ones I did, but you can check out those. And you can go on Amazon and add these to your collection, the ones that I'm telling you. Go out and buy them. You will not regret it. So thank you guys for watching. As always, please like and share this video. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. If you want to check out some social media links, check the video description below for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spreadshirt. Remember that one for these t-shirts? Cool shit. check that out and my Patreon page, which is a great way to give back to this channel, help this channel grow and get cool exclusive content for your eyes only, such as the digital copy codes. See where it says Blu-ray, DVD, and digital? I give away the digital codes to my patrons every single time I buy a Blu-ray. So that is a privilege. You also have, in certain tiers, the ability to request reviews. I just did what was supposed to be an exclusive, but the communication didn't quite go through Patreon right, so it ended up being public. But what will eventually be an exclusive commentary once a month or something like that. I did the Dream Warriors for my patrons. They chose that one in a poll. A lot of really cool stuff. Good way to support the channel. A lot of cool stuff to check out there. So check that out, guys, please. And if you want to check out some more of my videos, past reviews, past off the shelves episodes, all that good stuff, you can click on this right over here and check all that out.